Hello guys, welcome to Privars Fiskeflur. Tonight I'm gonna tie this fly for you. Well, it's a mix of the famous Danish pattern called Høytyven or something, and Karen Leolund's Perfect Shrimp. I mixed these two together because I have a big luck with the Perfect Shrimp, and I know the Danish man has very good luck with their pattern, so I'm gonna mix these two together and make a very nice fly out of it. It's Friday night, guys, so I have a little beer tonight, Danish beer. Okay, little tribute to my Danish friends. So well, I had some problems with the sound on this video, so bear with me. I have to put the sound on afterwards. I'm not sure how this is gonna go, but we'll make a try. Well, that's all I had for the introduction, so well, let's start on with the video. Well, the hooks I've been using on this fly is this one, Partridge CS54. I put it in a bag. I have to do that. And I use some orange Flashabou for the antennas. It's very nice. It's a bit stiff too. And I'm using this very bright orange dubbing for the mouth parts. This is gonna be combed out and make a base for the eyes and the rubber legs and the Flashabou. You have this rubber legs. I use this orange rubber legs. This is how it's gonna look. You can use some fluorescent if you have, but I think the bright orange will do the trick. Okay. And there is his eyes. This is the hot melt glue eyes. I made it myself. It's very nice. It's fast to tie and very durable. And I'm gonna put a link in the video how to tie and make this. Oh, I snipped the camera again. Okay, this is the hot melt glue I'm using. It's black. Nice and cheap and durable. Very nice. And where did I put my rest? Yeah, for the body and the mouth parts I used the mixed dubbing. I mixed it of two kind of dubbings, this brownish olive one and some orange flash. Here you have it. Okay. And the legs is made of this Crystal Tech jeweler thread. Is very strong, very strong. You cannot break it. You cannot break it. It's very strong. Oh, there you have it. And where did I put it? I'm gonna find. This is how the label looks on this fly. This kind of jewelry thread, but it's 0.6 what I've been using, not the thick one. Okay, and I'm gonna use a perfect. I use this hackle plier for holding on to the legs when I'm been marking these barrings This is a black permanent marker called Prismacolor in black, but you can use the one you have, so it won't, it's not so very well. Now there is not much yet left to tell. This is the tool I've been using to bend the legs. It's a cauterizer. It's use it to bend the knees in the legs. You use some force on it, and you see it turns red and very hot. Very short pressure on this one. Well, that's all I had for this video, this description I mean. So let's go on with the video. Well, this is a fly I'm gonna tie today, and I have a beer. It's Friday. Well, why not? I'm very satisfied with this fly. It's a mix of two patterns. It's a pattern called Høytyven in Denmark, and another Danish fly called the Perfect Shrimp. The originator of Perfect Shrimp is Karen Leo Lund, the originator of the pattern called Høytyven. I don't know, but I wanna this name of this fly, I call it the Perfect Thief, because Høytyven is in English it's about the high thief, a hay thief. So I start with putting the hook in the vise. The vise for today is my Dynaking indexer, and taking this using this mono. I got a life supply of this stuff, so it's 0.1 millimeter, and I wind it back to the hook band, where I put on this orange dubbing, bright orange for the mouth parts, like that, and I make a little dubbing ball of it, because this dubbing ball is going to divide the eyes, it's going to divide the Flashabou and the rubber legs. It's going to help building the shape of this fly and make a dubbing ball. Don't be afraid of using the mono, because this thread is invisible. You can play around with it, but be aware that it's very slippery, so you can use some wax if you want to make it stick a little more. But I'm gonna manage this. Now I'm gonna put on the Flashabou. I pick out 2 long strands, measure out how long I want it. I take the 2 on one side of the dubbing ball, and I take the other back part and point it towards the same way as the other. So now I got two strands on each side of the dubbing ball, like a split, you know. And now it's time for the rubber legs, not the rubber legs but the rubber antenna. I take it off the this hack I have. You can use the fluorescent rubber legs, but well, I have some bright orange, so I think that will gonna do the trick. Maybe it should have been some more stiff, but it's a bit tricky to tie on this rubber leg, because it's you can use different kind of methods. The one I was trying on this, the one I was trying now is not gonna funk. So I think I just tie it on the way I'm used to it, like that. Tie it in a V shape with one piece pointing on each side of the fly and a bit towards the front, like that. Now I'm gonna put on the eyes. Alright? Yeah, it's very nice eyes, and just use the curvature on this nylon to put it on the side of the fly, and tie it into the fly's side, and you can adjust it by dragging it to the right length, like that. Of course you can use the perfect shrimp eyes, but I prefer to make my eyes on my own, so I can tell that I made the whole fly by myself. And attach the other eye on the other side of the fly, and make the eyes, the curvature point outwards. Alright? Like that. Snip it off. Now it's time to put on the tail, but I want to have some glue on it first. This is my trusted liquid fusion glue, but you can use super glue or whatever. I use this one because I'm allergic to resins and UV resins and stuff. Alright, now it's time for the tail. I'm gonna start by attaching. You see, I'm gonna show you with all the fly I tied. I use my jewelry thread, 0.6 millimeters, like that. It's clear, and I snip off a piece, and I make a little loop of it, attach almost back to the hook eye, and make a loop. You can adjust the loop when you tie it in, but I think that was looking nice. And snip off, and I repeat the procedure, and put on the other side, and well, I have to find the end of this sucker. Well, there you have it, and snip off a little piece, make a loop, and I'll adjust the tying thread a little bit, attach it, see, measure out, so the loop is going to be just the same size and the same shape. Snip it off. You can adjust this tail parts by just put your thread in between them. I'm going to show you how to do this now. Just adjust it by tying on it, pushing on it, push it and force it to be the way you want it. And when you're happy, you can go forwards with the tying thread and start putting on the front leg. Alright, it's gonna point forwards, and I take off a piece of mono. See, this is how it's gonna look. But first I'm gonna make a little piece of hair out of this over the eyes. Yeah, you see, because it looks like a part of this fly, and well, I think the shrimp looks very cool in that fashion. The original Høytyven pattern has feather fibers on this, but I choose to make some dubbing, and I have to adjust so it don't get too thick on me, like that, and snip it off. And the nice thing about this mono tying thread, it's invisible, it won't show, it disappears into the fly. I use some mono for lot of my flies, a lot of my sea trout flies. Now I'm gonna take out the little piece to make this front leg, like that. Measure out how long I want it, about 1.5 length of the hook, with the mouth parts and all. You can adjust the length of these legs later by snipping it off with your scissors. Attach it to the sides and make it point downwards. And if you're not happy, tie it up and go back again, like that. And you can make the back parts of this piece point backwards. Alright, and I take this another piece, but I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna bend these legs with this cauterizer. So I do that first before I put on the other leg, and I measure out and make this other part of the fly go away from this, and I use this heating cauterizer to bend the rubber legs so it become a knee in this rubber leg. You see now? Very visible knee. And now I'm gonna take and do the same on the other side. First I'm gonna put this rubber leg on. Oh, I'm gonna find another piece. I should have prepared myself a little better, but there you have it. And there is this fly, part of the fly that points away from me. So it's always the most tricky part to tying the rubber legs, because it's a bit, there are some rascals, these rubber legs, and they do what I want to do, not what I want to do. So I have to persuade these rubber legs to point the right way. You see, I don't want it to point inwards, a little outwards and downwards. This is the way I want the rubber legs to point before I use the cauterizer on it. You see now it has been a little bit. I really have to tie it up again and attach it again. This is the tricky part about with tying in the rubber legs. Yeah, now I think I got it. Yes, a little force on it now and it will stay there. You can use some glue on this fly if you want. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that, but I'm gonna show you how I bend this leg now. This is this side of the fly that points towards you. See the fly's leg is gonna bend. I'm sure if you have not seen that, but there is a knee in this leg now, and I'm gonna cover up this gap with some dubbing and a little drink first. Oh yeah, the beer is good. The Friday is here. Well, now you see, I'm gonna make a little noodle of this dubbing and try to build a taper on this fly. Thicker on the front part and thinner backwards. This dubbing is gonna be combed out by this patina comb I have, with some velcro on the one side and the comb on the other side. Now you see, I'm gonna persuade these legs to cooperate with the dubbing, and now I'm gonna adjust the second pair of the leg, and I take these back parts and tie them forwards again to make the second part of the leg, second pair of the legs. Okay, there was my English again. Now I repeat the procedure and I use the heat on this cauterizer to bend the rubber legs. This method I saw first that Oliver Edwards would do. He bend the rubber legs with the cauterizer on his damsel nymph. I saw his creation. I got this idea. Yeah. This bend is gonna be 2 in those rubber legs as long there are there. It's not gonna straighten up again. And now I'm gonna take more dubbing, put on the fly, and try to build a taper on it. And well, you can put on fair amount of dubbing on this because it's gonna be combed out with the Velcro brush. Yeah, you see it's getting together now. There's this last pair of legs is gonna be put on. I'm gonna scratch my head a little. And where did I put this rubber legs again? Well, that's how it goes. Now we don't have to use the back parts. Then you just can snip off the most of it. Not all, because you need a little balance to attach the rubber legs. You can snip it off afterwards. You have tied this rubber legs onto the fly. And there was this one side. And maybe I'm gonna take a snip of this length of the rubber legs so it don't interfere with the other side. Alright? Yeah. Where? There you can see I just did just that. Snip it off. There it's gone. And this is the last pair of legs. Put this onto the side of the fly. Alright. You see it's going on there. It's not so wrong about this position of the legs. You always have to make yourself happy. That's what I like. I like to make myself happy. This is Friday, guys. It's a happy Friday. I like making those videos. Yeah, there was the last legs on place, and now I'm gonna take the last noodle of dubbing. I'm gonna finish off this tying part. Just have to adjust it a little bit. Now the cauterizer session again. Bend the legs. Woo! Oh, it's getting hot. There you have bent it. And don't push too long on this or you will break the thread in front. I've ruined a lot of my threads this way. It's not gonna be so you don't have to push it too much because, well, it's getting ruined if you don't use your fine touch. Okay, now we see we have you can snip off some of this length. It's not gonna be so long. You have to eyeball it to make the right length of these legs. Alright. See, now there is coming together. Maybe some fine adjustment afterwards. Yeah, there is some dubbing going on now as this last noodle of dubbing is going on. Yeah, you see there's lacking a little part of dubbing on this back body, and try to make the taper as good as you can. Jesus, my mouth is getting dry. I have a little, well, as you see, this is a voiceover, so I had a little problem with the sound. But I think you're gonna, you see now I've finished off my tying. and I find my whip finisher. I always have no control on my tool, but a fairly good control afterwards. I just had it in a drawer of this. I was on the fly tying session last night, so well, I have not packed out. You see now, the whip finish is on. I snip off this tying thread and put this thread aside, and I'm gonna find this little lacquer I have. Where did I put that one? Oh, I have to watch it. Not there. And whoo! Well, I have to use my eyes. Can I find it? Oh yeah, there it was. This is a water-based lacquer I use. It's where it seeps into the thread wraps and make this all be very strong. It's not toxic or anything. It's very good. Well, put the cap back on so you don't ruin your rest of the lacquer. Yeah. Now I'm gonna take and make some marking on these legs. Yeah. For that I use my hackle plier, attach to the front leg, to the tip of the front leg, and push on it and pull on it and make the markings in this fashion. If you stretch the leg a little bit, the markings are becoming very small and look natural. If you don't do that, the markings are gonna be just as thick as you put them on. But if you stretch on the legs, thing is gonna look a lot more better. And proceed until you have made all the legs and marked them. And I assure you, this will make the big difference in the fly. I think the fly is looking very sexy when you have this marking on the legs. Take your time, and I'm sure you will be very satisfied with the end result of this. You see, I'm a Norwegian guy, so my English is, I'm not so very good at it, but I try. Well, you see now, you take your hackle plier onto the leg and pull on it, make the nice markings like that. And now the time has come for the tail, and use the same procedure there. Pull on it and make the markings over and under. You can, if you're a tidy guy, you can do this, but this is translucent, so it will show through. And use your color off, the last one, and you see this fly is becoming complete now. It's gonna go right in my box, that's for sure. Put the cap back on, the Prismacolor and permanent marker, and you can now use your eyeball and snip off the length of the legs, measure out, see of front and back, and this is how it's gonna look when it's finished. It's maybe some of the legs has a little more, it needs a little more bend, and you can see now how I bend the legs. It's very visible now because the legs has markings. You see, very nice how I put this all together now. And now is I'm going to use the Velcro brush to brush out the dubbing. That's the finished touch on this fly. It's comb on this one end and Velcro on this end, and the tool is called Petin Comb. It's a very nice tool from Stonefall, I can surely tell you how to. It's very nice to have in the box. You can use your own, but it's not so very expensive. Look in Stonefow's catalog and you will find it, or a local vendor. You brush your from the back and down on both sides, so we'll make a very nice finish to this fly. It's very nice to do that, and I use my Velcro brush, and also I use some dubbing needle to pick out the dubbing ball in front to make the mouth parts going to be more visible. And I use the Velcro brush to adjust it. It was a little bump there, so I have to comb it out. And you can use your Velcro brush to point forwards, brush it forwards like this. I think that makes the trick. I was very happy with this fly. It's a bit time consuming to tie, but well, when you first get a hang of it, you will be very satisfied with it. Well, that's all about the fly tying, guys. I thank you all for watching this video, and please subscribe to my channel and comment. I will be very happy to receive some comments, and ask me anything you want. I try to answer you as good as I can. And that's all I had for you guys, and please go out and fish this fly, and bye bye and tight lines.